Hello and welcome to IndianExpress.com. The Supreme Court ruled that playing of national anthem would be made mandatory before screening of any movie across India in every theatre. To discuss this development and the observations of the Supreme Court, I'm joined by my colleague Utkarsh Anand to throw some more light on these specific observations. Utkarsh, first of all, what were the directions that the Supreme Court said?
Yeah, Apurva, in fact, this was a PIL moved by a retired engineer in Bhopal.
Okay.
Now, he wanted certain directions to be issued and guidelines to be laid down regarding the norms while the national anthem is played across platforms and not just in cinema halls. So now it is interesting that the Supreme Court today has confined it only to the cinema halls and said that before screening of any movie across theatres in the country, you will have to play the national anthem.
Okay.
Now, not only this, while the national anthem is being played, the entry and exit doors of those theatres have to remain shut so that nobody can walk in or walk out while the anthem is being played. Now, besides, the Supreme Court has also said that no dramatization or commercial exploitation of the national anthem will be permissible. And it has said that even the abridged version of the national anthem cannot be played. I mean, to say that if you have an advertisement where you want to play only one portion of the national anthem, you can't do it henceforth.
Okay, but in that case, are there any kind of penalties that the Supreme Court has imposed in terms of the national anthem that is which is made mandatory in playing?
No, I just went through the order. The Supreme Court said that every individual is obliged to stand up while the national anthem is being played. However, it does not specify any penalty or punishment, because a penalty or punishment has to come by way of a law. Now, the Supreme Court has issued positive directions regarding that you have to stand while the national anthem is being played. It has not gone a step ahead and said what happens if you don't.
But in that case, what are the legal provisions relating to the national anthem as well as the national flag?
Now, that's a very interesting question. See, in fact, there are two pertinent laws, acts that deal with national anthem and national flag.
Okay.
The first is Prevention of Insult to National Honours Act, 1971 Act, and the second is Article 51A, which is a fundamental duty. Now, the Act, the 1971 Act says that you cannot obstruct, you cannot disturb somebody who is either standing up or is singing the national anthem. However, it does not say that you must stand up or you must sing the national anthem while others are doing so. Now, similarly, Article 51A is under the directive principle of state policy. It does not cast a legal obligation upon you to be bound by or to honor the national anthem and national flag. It just says that every citizen should do it. So, no legal provision has till date made it compulsory for anybody to either sing it or stand up. Not only this, the Supreme Court has also interpreted these provisions in the past. Now, when Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham was released, now there was a PIL filed and the matter had travelled to the Supreme Court, where Karan Johar, the producer director of the movie, had come. And the main issue was that he had used the national anthem in one scene of that movie. Now, the Supreme Court said, and this I must say was based on the instructions from the government, that the government order did not make it mandatory for people to stand while the national anthem is sung. Now, this was in 2004. We are in 2016, 12 years later. It seems that the Supreme Court has gone ahead and tried to change everything about its own order.
Right, and we also understand that the Supreme Court has given the centre a 7-day time.
No, that's 10 days in fact.
That's been made into 10 days and it has also given directives, where the centre is giving directives to all the chief secretaries to implement this within a 10-day time as well.
No, the central government was being represented by the Attorney General for India. He was there, although he had not read the file, he was not appearing in this matter. But as soon as he came in, the court said that, Mr. Attorney, here is a PIL, what do you have to say about it? Now, Attorney wanted to see the file, but then the Supreme Court indicated that we would want to issue certain directives, the interim directives. Now, mind you, these are interim directives, the PIL is still to be implemented.
Right.
Now, Attorney said that he does not have any hesitation if the Supreme Court wanted to issue certain interim directions. Now, based on his assertions and his support, the Supreme Court has today passed the directions, and now the Attorney General for India has undertaken to communicate this order to chief secretaries of all these states within the next 10 days. And now they'll have to come back with a compliance report.
Right. Thank you so much, Utkarsh, for getting us details of what happened at the court, where the Supreme Court has made it mandatory for the national anthem to be played across the theatres in India. For more news and updates, log on to IndianExpress.com.